TV Royale was yesterday, which included the showcase of two new Evos, a bunch of new features coming to next season's update, and over 20 nerfs to separate cards in these work in progress balance changes for the October 2025 season. In this video, we're just going to be going over the work in progress balance changes, and in the next video, we're going to be talking about the new Evos and the brand new features coming to the game in the October 2025 season. So let's just jump straight into it. This is all objective, so let me know your guys' thoughts in the comments down below. Okay, so here are the work in progress balance changes for the October 2025 season, and as you guys can see, there is not a single buff here. Just to zoom it in a little bit. Okay, yeah, zoom it in a little bit. There's not a single buff here. I think, yeah, over 20 nerfs. I mean, not over. I think it's 30 nerfs, but over 20 cards are being nerfed. But the total nerfs, I think, maybe it's 30 or even exceeds 30. This has never ever happened before where there has been this many nerfs inside the game. It's absolutely crazy, but I think a lot of them are definitely well deserved with the current meta. We're just gonna be going over them. I'm just gonna be giving my thoughts on them, and yeah, let's just jump straight into it. Okay, starting off with the Berserker, she's getting a damage reduction nerf of 5%. It was 102 hit points before, and after it's 97 hit points. I really do think this is definitely deserved because for 2 elixir, she could take out so many units and you could just get so many positive trades from her. I definitely believe this is a deserved nerf because I just think she was so prevalent in the meta. It's you can throw her in almost any deck and she would always get value when you place her down, like especially at the bridge. You place her down at the bridge, they're gonna have to respond with something, and it's most likely gonna be a card that is over 2 elixir, meaning you're almost always gonna get some kind of value from her. This is definitely a deserved nerf. Maybe they could have reduced her speed. I'm not sure, but I think this is good for now, and maybe we'll see what happens next season if she's still super prevalent in the meta or not. But overall, I do agree with this nerf. Okay, next up we got the Bomber nerf. This is very interesting actually. It's getting an HP reduction of 8%. I'm not sure if it's gonna die to log out, but I'm pretty sure it won't get a hit on the Princess Tower. So it has 332 hit points before, and now it has 304 hit points. Actually, no, I'm not sure. Might still get a hit on a Princess Tower if placed at the bridge. But yeah, I mean, I don't think this is really needed. Like, the Bomber was only really good in, maybe some P.E.K.K.A. Goblin Giant decks. But overall, I didn't really see the need. Like, nobody was crying or complaining about the Bomber. And I understand they're not nerfing cards based on people crying about them, that they're broken. But I just personally don't see the need to nerf the Bomber. I really don't understand this change, but we'll see how this affects the Bomber. I don't think it's going to be a dead card. It's still going to be probably prevalent in some Mortar decks, but overall, I don't really see the need for this. I think it's just kind of a useless nerf. I genuinely can't understand this. Okay, next up, we got the Furnace, which is getting a nerf. The nerf is going to be a speed increase of 33%, and you can definitely consider that as a nerf because it's going to be spawning less Fire Spirits. In that case, because it's going to travel up the map faster, meaning it's not going to get as much value. And, I mean, it's fine, I guess. I think the regular Furnace is fine. I do think the Evo is kind of broken. Maybe they could have, reduced the Fire Spirit spawn from every hit to every second hit. That would be pretty interesting if they did that for the Evo. I personally would not have touched the regular Furnace. The card is still going to be good, but it's definitely going to be fading out of the meta more and more and more. And that's what's going to probably be happening with every single new broken card release that they do. It's going to be the best card in the game, and 2 months later, it's going to be the worst card in the game. But I don't think Furnace is going to be dead. It's just definitely not going to be as prevalent because it's just not going to get as much value on the board. But I think the Evo Furnace is still going to be good. But overall, sure, I agree with this. I mean, the card was still very, very good. And they're just going to play around with it, see what happens. But I don't have an issue with this. Okay, next up, we've got the Goblin Drill. It's getting a nerf to its first spawn time. It's increasing by 25% from 0.8 seconds to 1 second. And I personally think, I didn't expect this. Nobody really expected this. But the Evo Drill is already the worst Evo in the game, so I'm not sure why they had to nerf the Evo Drill. Maybe they could have done something else, but I mean, the Evo Drill is already crap, so I mean, nerfing it even more is just gonna make it an even worse Evo. But I do think this is fine. I mean, I'm not too opposed of it. I don't like drill all that much, so I'm kind of like I don't really care about this nerf. It doesn't really impact me. But for all the drill players, let me know what you think. I do think the card isn't going to be as mainstream, but I mean, still, it's not going to be a bad card in any way. It's not going to kill the card, in my opinion. It's just going to be much easier to counter, which now that I'm thinking about it again, could kill the card. Okay, moving on. The Goblin Hut. Very, very deserved nerf. Okay, it's getting an HP nerf of 4%. It is the best. It was the best building in the game, and actually might still be the best building in the game. It's getting a hit point nerf of 4%. It had 1,228 hit points. Now it's going down to 1,180 hit points. Totally deserved. I think it's been like the best building for the past like 2 months or ever since the Goblin Hut got reworked. It's been the best building in the game, 100%. So I'm glad this got nerfed because I mean, it's been the best building in the game. There has been no competition to it whatsoever. So I'm glad they nerfed it, and maybe other buildings can thrive in the meta. We'll see what happens. All right, next up, I'm so happy that they did this. The Goblin Giant. It's getting a nerf. Very good. Very happy. It's getting an HP nerf of 7%. It's getting a backpack range nerf of 9%, and the backpack first hit time is getting an increase of 25%. And these are the stats, and you can look at them if you want. But overall, I'm really happy about this. This is a great nerf because I mean I hate the Goblin Giant. I genuinely despise it. You just place it at the bridge and Evo Goblin Giant, especially Evo Goblin Giant. I think the regular Goblin Giant is okay. It's not that hard to counter, but the Evo Goblin Giant, it stinks. So very deserved nerf. I don't think I really need to elaborate any further. If you play the game at all, you know how annoying this card is. So glad it got a nerf. All right, the Goblin Machine is getting a nerf. Very deserved. It's been so prevalent last season, especially with Goblin Giant. So I think nerfing those two cards is definitely going to weaken the archetype quite a bit. So the rocket damage is getting a 22% decrease, and it's getting an HP decrease of 7%, which is good because it was super tanky. It's like I found myself whenever I was playing Goblin Machine using it a lot on defense. It's not going to be as good on defense anymore. It's going from 391 hit points to 304 hit points, and its HP is going from 2,304 hit points to 2,150 hit points. Very deserved. It's too prevalent in the meta, and I understand the card was like dead like 5 months ago, but ever since the introduction of the Royal Chef, the Goblin Machine has been very good. It's still in a great state, and next season I think it's not gonna be prevalent, but I'm not sure honestly. I can't really predict. I think people will still use it in mid ladder, but maybe it's gonna be not as popular in top ladder. And we'll see, but overall deserved. Okay, we have the guards next up. They're getting a first hit time nerf of 25%. So it's going from 0.4 seconds to 0.5 seconds. I do agree the guards got quite a bit of value for 3 elixir, and I mean, I do agree. A little nerf was not going to hurt them. They're still going to be very good, but this is definitely a good way to balance them out. So I wholeheartedly agree with Supercell on this. All right, next up we got the minions nerf. Hit speed is going down by 8%. It's going from 1 point hits per second to 1.2 hits per second. This is great. I think this is totally deserved. When they buffed the range, they kind of buffed the whole card as a whole. It just became way too strong. I think they buffed the range and the hit speed. I'm pretty sure. I don't remember. But either way, they buffed the card to a point where it's becoming way too prevalent in top ladder. And even after this nerf, it's still going to be a very good card alongside the Minion Horde. It's a very good card now, the Minion Horde, and it still will be after this nerf. So I think it's fine. I think this is a deserved nerf. They have nerfed it 2 seasons in a row, so I'm a bit worried that maybe next season they're going to nerf it even more, and therefore the card is going to be completely useless. But anyway, we'll see. Minions are still very good against siege decks because they snipe the buildings, so it's overall very good that they made this nerf just to balance the card out, and hopefully it's not going to be as prevalent in ladder because I'm kind of sick of seeing this card all the time. Next up, skeletons. They're getting a nerf to their hit speed by 9%. This is just, I can't explain this. Like, Supercell, I don't know what you were thinking. Graveyard is dead, Skeleton Barrel is dead. What's the point? Graveyard is going to be way worse now. I don't think people are going to be running Graveyard as often as they do now. Graveyard has been meta for like the past 3 months. I understand, but maybe you shouldn't nerf all the skeleton cards. Maybe you should have done something else, but I don't know. Just there's no point in my opinion. Like I can't say much on this because I want to hear their explanation before giving any further comments. But overall, my stance on this is that this is just nonsensical. I don't see why they had to like ever nerf this. I just don't get it. It's like I don't understand their logic. Skeletons were in a perfectly fine spot, and they nerfed it by 9%. Yeah, you want to nerf skeletons by 9%, but you don't want to nerf Prince. It's like the same situation where the miner got nerfed. Like, there's no point. Yeah, by the way, yes, Prince did not get nerfed here. Prince did not get nerfed. I scrolled too far, but let me show you. I scrolled way too far. Jesus Christ. Okay, here, look. Prince only got a bug fix. Prince didn't get nerfed, but a skeleton nerf, that's good. Yeah, we nerf skeletons by 9%. We nerf the skeleton hit speed by 9%, but we don't nerf Prince. We don't touch the Prince. Make that make sense. Vines are getting a nerf. The card's gonna be practically dead, in my opinion. Duration's getting reduced by 20%, damage is getting reduced by 9%, and the damage ticks, they're getting reduced by 60%. Dude, like, yeah, I spent $30 to max this card, and it's just getting ruined in like a month's time. That's gonna happen, and that's what's gonna happen with every single card they release. Okay, every single card they release that's gonna be a good card, a broken card, they're just gonna get nerfed into the ground in a month's time. That's one thing I really don't like about this game right now. They should definitely change that. But hey, anything to get that bag, you know. Vine is, I mean, it's not going to be dead, but it's not going to be as good. I just don't think it's going to be prevalent in a lot of decks. For example, like, maybe like Lava Hound. I don't think Lava Hound's going to run it anymore. Like this season, I ran Vines with Lava Hound. It's definitely not going to be ran with Lava Hound anymore, but yeah. Card's practically dead, in my opinion. I don't necessarily agree with this nerf. Something lighter would have been in order, but this is just too much, in my opinion. I know the Vines are the best card on the game right now, but just something else. I don't know what. I'd have to think about it, but just something lighter, something else, just so they're not like completely erased from the meta. Well, they're not going to be completely erased, but it's just not going to be a fun time for any Vines users because the card is just not going to be as viable in certain matchups. Okay, next up, Evo Baby Dragon. Pretty self-explanatory. It's going from 1 cycle to 2 cycles. I wholeheartedly disagree with this. There's just no point. Like the whole like charm of this Evo was that it was 1 cycle, and if you could have nerfed maybe the wind speed or something but the cycle. This is just such a lame and boring way out. Just nerfing the cycle because you don't have to think. Like even I could come up with a balance change like this. Oh yeah, just instead of 1 cycle, make it 2 cycles. Like, just there's no creativity here. You couldn't like, you really couldn't think of anything. I kind of feel like, but I mean, whatever. I'm not sure if I'm not sure if it's gonna be dead. But I personally don't agree with this. They should have done something else. We'll see how the card performs next season, but I do not think it's gonna be as prevalent considering this is a pretty big nerf. Evo Cannon deserved. Let's just get that out of the way, okay? The barrage damage is going down by 14%, and I completely agree with this because I think the Evo Cannon, like the barrage, it just did a lot of damage, and it's pretty simple here. I agree with this. I do think a nerf is in order. It's still gonna be a good card. Evo Cannon will still be used, especially because of the knockback. The knockback's really good, but I mean, I agree with this. I think it's definitely deserved. I'm going to cover the Evo Goblin Cage and Evo Valk at the same time because they have the exact same nerf. Their HP multiplier is getting decreased by 9%, and what this means is that their base form has the same amount of HP as their Evo form. In short, I think this is very stupid. I don't think this is deserved whatsoever. I think that another nerf could have been in order. Like, I mean, Evo Valk is only going to be prevalent in Lava, and I think Evo Cage is really only going to be prevalent in Recruits now. I just generally don't see the point in just removing their extra health. That's a good gimmick in my opinion for some Evos, and I guess they're just cracking down on Evos that have more health than their base counterpart. I think it's a pretty lazy way to nerf a card. I don't agree with this. Evo Goblin Cage is going to be like a bottom 5 Evo, and Evo Valk is only going to be used in like a lava. Still going to be a good card, but not as good as it was because of the HP multipliers getting tanked. Pretty much, what you can say here is that its HP is getting nerfed by 9%. That's pretty much all it is. And I don't agree with this. I think they could have done something better. Evo Wall Breakers are getting nerfed. This is not a drill. Evo Wall Breakers are getting nerfed. I think this card is slept on way too much. The death damage was insane, but thankfully they nerfed it by 11%, or I hope they will nerf it. So I hope this will be final. It's going from 291 to 258, and I'm just going to say I'm so glad. They got way too much value for 2 Elixir. If you didn't DPS them down in time, they were just going to explode on your tower and kill all your troops. And even if you did DPS them down, like if you use like Splash or something, it's like your Splash card is going to be like, I don't know, half health if you place it on the wrong tile or something. I mean, this is good. This is great. The world is healing. Evo Wall Breakers nerfed. So now all we need is the Prince nerf, and the world will be perfect, okay? Just nerf Prince, and alongside this card getting nerfed, yeah, it's going to be incredible. Next up, Evo Witch. Heal per skeleton is going to go down by 16%. I find this to be a bit harsh, but I do see why they would do it. I understand that it is super prevalent and it is quite brain dead, but I mean, maybe something else, maybe a little bit lighter, because I think this will kind of kill the card. It's definitely not going to be viable in any decks, in my opinion. It's going from 76 hit points to 64 hit points. That's a big difference. It's 60%. It's going to die much easier, and it's not going to be like an all special Evo. So I don't know. I don't necessarily agree with this. I think maybe something lighter to not completely kill the card would be good, but I don't know. We'll see. Maybe it's still going to be prevalent in mid ladder, which I do think it will be, but overall in top ladder, I don't think this will be viable anymore. But overall, like, I don't really agree with this. Royal Chef, he's getting a nerf to his HP by 7%, going down from 2921 to 2703. I think this is just not, like, this is not nice. Oh my god, I'm so... Royal Chef, he's getting a nerf by his... The Royal Chef is getting a nerf to his HP by 7%, and I think this is just widening the gap from the Princess Tower and the other 2 tower troops. So instead of doing this, they should have kept his hit points at 2,921, and instead they should have buffed the Duchess. So that way, there wouldn't be that big of a gap between the Princess Tower and the other 2 tower troops. So the whole point of adding tower troops to the game was to add variety. They wanted to add variety, so people would not only play just one tower troop, but they would play, like, there would be more variety in the game. That was like the whole point of adding tower troops, but this is just widening the gap. Okay, so Royal Chef is only going to be viable in certain beatdown decks. It's not going to be as prevalent whatsoever. So this is a major L on Supercell's point, because literally it's like Princess Tower is just going to dominate. Like, there's no point in using the other tower troops. This is going to be nearly as bad as the Duchess, in my opinion. Now, instead, again, as I said, should have kept it. Nerf the Duchess in some way. Give it an HP nerf. Give it a hit speed buff. Something. Just do something besides nerfing the other tower troop and widening the gap between the Princess Tower and the Duchess and the Chef. Do not agree with this whatsoever. Rage is getting a nerf. I mean, I'm kind of indifferent on this. I don't really know what interactions this will change. If it's going to change some major interactions, then that would kind of stink. But overall, I don't really, I don't really care all that much about this nerf. Its boost effect hit speed multiplier is going down from 1.35 to 1.3. I mean, okay, its Evo Barbs are just going to be even worse now. There's going to be an even lower. They're just going to be lower. They're just going to be lower ranked. Jesus Christ, I can't speak. They're just going to be lower ranked now. So yeah, I mean, I'm kind of indifferent on this, but yeah, I just hope it's not going to change all that many interactions. Ice Wizard is getting a nerf, as well as every other card that has a slowdown effect hit. So that would be the Fisherman and the Ice Golem. Ice Golem is not necessary, in my opinion. They should have just excluded Ice Golem from this equation, but they just wanted to stay consistent. Alongside Snowball, it's going to be way worse in Drill decks, and alongside Drill getting a nerf, I just think Drill as an archetype is not going to be all that prevalent next season. So yeah, Snowball, I don't know. Snowball and Ice Golem, I don't see the point. Fisherman and Ice Wizard, I do agree with, because Ice Wizard is so good on defense, and I do agree with the Ice Wizard getting nerfed, but I don't know. For the other cards, especially the Ice Golem and the Snowball, I'm not sure. I'm kind of like on the fence about that. I just don't think it was very necessary. But yeah, the slowdown effect, hit speed multiplier. That's a tongue twister. No. But yeah, the slowdown effect, hit speed multiplier is going up by 8%, which is a nerf. So yeah, that's that for them. So I don't know. Kind of cross on this. Not sure whether to like this or dislike this. Okay, next up we have a Prince bug fix, which includes the Dark Prince, Ram Rider, Battle Ram, Evo Battle Ram, and Evo Recruits. Pretty much, to explain it simply, if you log like the Prince, for example, it's not gonna like immediately charge on your troop after you log it. It's a bug fix, so I'm glad they did that. It's an indirect nerf to these cards, but it was never even supposed to be in the game in the first place. But overall, I'm still not sure why they never nerfed Prince. So I mean, you nerf skeletons, but you can nerf skeletons, but you can't nerf Prince. I don't know. That's Supercell logic. We'll see what happens next season, but no Prince nerf. That's great. That's going to be it for the work in progress balance changes for the October 2025 season. I covered every single one here, and sorry about the video length. It is quite long. I just wanted to give my honest opinions about all these balance changes here. If you guys do have some different opinions, or just want to say something about them, let me know in the comments down below. I'm going to be reading all the comments and replying to every single one of them. I will be posting another video tomorrow. We're just going to be covering all the new content that's going to be coming out next season, including lucky chests and the 2 new Evos, which do look really broken. So we'll see what happens then. But yeah, that's going to be it for this video. Make sure to like, subscribe to boost my channel and the algorithm. Leave a like, subscribe. It would help me out tremendously in the algorithm. And let me know what you guys think of these work in progress balance changes in the comments down below. And tomorrow I'll make a video discussing all of the new content coming in the October season. So stay tuned for that. I'll catch you guys tomorrow. Have a good one.